person turquoise waving, you got this, face in clouds. Like bro. Hand purple blue piece.
I can cross surviving a Hulk attack off my list of bucket things I never wanted to experience. I need to cool off after that last outing. Literally, the desert is too hot for a ration.
What the heck? Enough, Tony. We tried and we failed. Time to admit we might not have all the answers on this one.
We needed to act, and that's exactly what I did. Yeah, okay, the plan didn't work out. I'll come up with another. If that doesn't work, I'll try again, and again. Until I win.
You win?
You know what I meant.
I know exactly what you meant. Listen to someone other than yourself for once. Stand down, Tony.
Not while I can still fix this.
Stand down now, before we all go down with you.
Oh, I don't know. Tried to save the world? What do you say, boss? You know that I've got this, right? What do you say, boss? Is Rogers right? Should the star player get benched after one mistake? Or maybe you're smart, and you know I can get us across the finish line.
You tried, Tony. That is admirable and greatly appreciated.
But no longer needed.
That is not what I am saying.
But you're thinking it.
Hunter, are you any good at writing eulogies? I mean, it's not like Robbie's gonna let you write a eulogy for Blaze. Seems like this is something he's got to work out on his own. But a little backup never hurts.
And what are you doing?
Me? I'm here to support Robbie. He watched his personal hero sacrifice himself. He shouldn't have to grieve alone.
Robbie's reaction is normal, considering what happened. We should all take a moment to grieve in our own way.
I usually take a few minutes of silence, which is big for me, considering normally I can't shut up.
If Robbie wants to speak, eventually he will find the words.
I don't think anyone is expecting Shakespeare. But I do know that if Robbie doesn't get some kind of closure, he's gonna be a mess.
Closure? What is that?
Yeah, closure? Like, after you have a breakup and you insist on making your ex go out for coffee so you can tell them how they made you feel.
Do you think that is effective?
I've watched hundreds of hours of daytime TV talk shows that say yes. So, as soon as Robbie works this out, we'll be good to go. Robbie will figure out what to do. Eventually.
Any suggestions? I can't get Blaze out of my head. I don't mean possession or anything, just everything that happened.
Tell me what you were thinking.
On the one hand, he was my personal hero. On the other hand, he tried to destroy you. On the other hand, he sacrificed himself to save me. How do I honor him and still be truthful? It's too many hands.
Out of all of us, you knew him best, so whatever you decide to say, it will be appropriate.
That's the trouble. I don't even know what I would say or where I would even begin. I spent so much time measuring myself against him, and then he turned out to be such a turd.
Seems like you need more time to work out your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think I can say turd in my eulogy. You really helped clarify my thinking. Thank you. I'll figure something out by morning. Promise. This is so hard. Maybe we should just have a memorial barbecue.
I have a task that could, well, use your expertise. I do it myself, but my research takes priority. The chatter points to large numbers of soldiers crossing borders, mostly in Eastern Europe. Lots of talk about Transio.
Or other.
A bit of all three.
Oh, you are gonna love this. What have you got for me, boss? I'll make something great out of this. Sometimes, I even impress myself. I'm pretty sure Charlie left a steaming coil in the hallway. Third state of matter, indeed. Good. I needed something to do. The latest advancements from the mind of genius Tony Stark, and they're all for you. Time to work with my mind. This is some of my best work. Don't forget to write.
Hey guys, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but we need to start stepping up.
I don't understand. I thought the Avengers were supposed to be like the greatest superhero crew on Earth. I thought they would do better than this.
You should know this by now, Robbie. Meeting your heroes is always disappointing.
They were never my heroes.
Hey, don't be so hard on them. They're doing their best.
You don't get an A for effort in this hellscape.
I didn't.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick with sitting on the sidelines while the Avengers keep striking out.
So am I. It's time to take control.
Guess you overheard our conversation.
Some of it.
Let's face it, this doomsday scenario might be a little too on the gothy supernatural side for the Avengers. So, it's time for them to move over and let the kids take the reins.
The Avengers are clearly out of their depth.
Damn straight. Now it's our turn to screw it up.
You do not sound too confident.
I just don't want to jinx it.
So, do you have a plan?
You mean a plan to stop Chthon from serving us all up in his all-you-can-eat cosmic flesh buffet? We don't have all the deets nailed down as of yet, but we'll work it out. Till then, keep this under wraps until we know what we're doing. I don't want to freak out the Avengers any more than they already are.
Will do.
Cool. Catch up later.
the Army. We call that hot intel. Semantics aside, Hydra's never been this active. Hearing about sleeper agents pulling out from all the major three-letter agencies.
Can't believe I find myself wishing Red Skull were still in charge.
Hydra hasn't been this active since my Howling Commando days. There's something going on that we're not seeing.
It's not much. They have managed to locate a few details.
I know what it's like to feel guilty about the death of a loved one, too. My Uncle Ben. It's my fault he died.
Did you kill him?
Well, no, but I could have stopped the guy who did. Hey, those are beautiful. What are they, some kind of daisy?
Something as rare as she was.
I'm sure she forgives you.
Thanks, Peter. But I kinda want to be alone right now.
Yeah, okay, sorry, just trying to help.
I know, but this is not something you can help with.
Maybe someone else can.
Do you think what Peter said is true? That Agatha forgives me for what I did?
I know she forgives you.
Yeah, right. You can't know that.
Well, I do.
No, you don't. No one does. She's dead and it's all my fault. It's always my fault. If I had learned to control my powers better, she would be here today.
Agatha understood the dangers of taking someone as powerful as you under her wing. She did it anyway, because she had faith in you, and who you are to become.
And look what her faith cost her. An early grave.
Maybe she saw something in you, something that was worth the sacrifice.
That's nice of you to say, but say it to Caretaker. I still haven't been able to look her in the eye since I've been back. She hates me.
You cannot hide from her forever. You need to figure out how to summon the courage to face her, so that both of you can move on.
Yeah, you're right. I owe her that.
You owe it to yourself, and Agatha. Agatha would want the two of you to be reconciled.
I know. I just don't know if I can make that happen.
Try. For Agatha.
Yeah, for Agatha. I, kinda need a few more minutes alone with her. Go on without me.
I will take my leave then.
Thanks, Hunter.
That collar of yours does not look good, Hunter.
Aw, who is a good kitty?
If you have any wild plans to contribute, Hunter, now's the time to share them. Our time to stop Chthon is running short. At this point, I'm willing to try just about anything. So if you have any bright ideas...
Surely the situation is not as dire as it seems. There must be more to learn, more secrets to unlock, some weakness we could discover about Chthon.
That's what I'm doing. If there's even a hint of a notion of a way to stop Chthon, I will ferret it out. If the circumstances weren't so dire, I might even find this fun.
Keep at it. Do not give up. We have to find something in one of those books.
These books tell me Chthon has been a threat before civilization began, when all that walked the earth were the Elder Gods.
But what else? Surely there is some bit of knowledge we can use. What other things did you learn?
I could keep you up all night blathering on about this, so tell me specifically what you are curious about.
Who were these Elder Gods? Tell me about them.
Siblings brought into existence on this planet by the Demiurge, the source of all life. These beings were named Set, Gaia, Oshtur, and Chthon. They ruled the planet for many millennia, each of them pursuing their own interests, increasingly battling each other for supremacy until finally it became too much. New gods emerged to topple the old gods and remove their influence from our world.
Nothing lasts forever, even for gods. Was Chthon always this monstrous evil from the very beginning?
There was always something wrong with him, but his insatiable pursuit of chaos magic eventually corrupted him in ways he could never reverse. While Chthon's sibling Gaia sought to nurture life on his planet, Chthon sought to absorb it into himself, to remake all life in his own twisted image. It was because of that evil drive that Chthon was banished to another realm.
And there he waits, ready to return when the opportunity presents itself. Like now.
Like now.
If Chthon returns, what exactly will happen to this world?
The world and all life as you know it will cease to exist, but it will not vanish. It will be recast in Chthon's image. We will exist only as extensions of Chthon, and the world will only serve to keep him alive.
What a hellish existence. What about the Darkhold? Could it not provide us with secrets of Chthon?
The Darkhold is dangerous in its own way. With Chthon locked away in another dimension, this is how he has sought to influence events in our world. It is Chthon's own words laid down in print. We cannot trust it as a reliable aid in our battle. It would be like trying to defeat Ultron using his own memoir. Nothing good will come of it.
And the writing is probably awful anyway. The prophecy mentions the sleeping giant awakening. If that is Hulk, how important is he to Chthon's goals?
I'm not sure, other than his presence complicates our ability to stop Hydra and Lilith's efforts.
Something will have to be done about him, or Stark may lose his mind. I do not want to hinder you anymore. Keep reading. Surely there is something we can use.
I hope you're right. And I'll keep digging. One more book. Maybe that will have the answer.
Scarlet Witch is not long welcome in the...
I still say we should have built a firing range first.
Ready for a pounding? I'm gonna need a back.
See you around.
Who is a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Hand pink waving.
Show them what happens when you mess with the Midnight Suns.
I can do that. Are we excited? Smell the rainbow! Insert catchphrase here! It's about time!
something.
Step right up, test your strength.
Whatever works for you.
Bad luck for you, friendo.
I am impressed.
Gonna get ya. Allow me.
До свидания.
our chances. You!
Very effective.
Oh, I saw this in a movie once.
Good work. Once again. There are worse things than death, and I can make them happen. Next time, it will be forever.
Like,
We're mostly alive. They're mostly not. So, yeah, we're good.
person turquoise waving.
How invigorating.
This is a good day.
Mucho gusto! Elbas excelente!
learned their lesson, but we all know that's wishful thinking.
Hey, Hunter. I'm gonna be saying some words about Blaze for the team. We're gathering in the cave right now. Come join us. Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. I know we're all stretched thin at the moment.
We're all here for you, Robbie. We know this is important to you.
But we should move things along. I know what you're all thinking. You thought Blaze was a major league asshole.
Whoa, I thought Professor Xavier was the mind reader, Logan.
Quiet, you. Anyway, Blaze. Yeah, he wasn't nice. But it's not a nice world. And sometimes you gotta be that way to get things done. And he really got a lot of things done. So, you kids remember that. You won't always be so fresh-faced and innocent.
Thanks, Logan. You said it better than I ever could. To be honest, I really struggled with what I was gonna say. Because I used to worship the flaming ground Blaze rode on. And then I met him. And safe to say, I didn't worship him so much anymore. Fairly certain I hated him. Right until he went and sacrificed his life to save mine. Johnny might not have been perfect, but at the end of the day, he was one of us. And I'm glad to have known him. To Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny
Blaze.
Johnny
Blaze. Is that it? Can we go now?
What's up, Hunter?
Pull up a stool, Hunter. Never too early to get caffeinated. Stark convinced me to put a shot of his new Stark Drive energy drink in my coffee.
Stark Drive?
Sure. It tastes like sweaty gym sock dipped in coffee, but at least it wakes you up. And if we're headed to Transia, I'm gonna need it. This thing could last 24 hours or 24 days. Hard to tell.
Transia is a treacherous place, filled with all sorts of forgotten locations. We could be battling Lilith's forces there for a long time.
That's what I'm afraid of. A place like Transia is as dangerous as they come.
It makes sense that Lilith would go back there. Back to her homeland, that is. Back to the source of her powers.
She's gonna be in for a real nasty shock if she's looking for home. It's not like the old days with the Knights of Wundagore riding around the place. Red Skull and Hydra did a pretty good job of screwing Transia up in every way possible.
Lilith does not care about the country or its people. If she could gain power from a desert island, she would go there.
Too bad she doesn't go to a desert island. Transia's nasty this time of year.
It looks like the others are gathering now in the war room.
Yep, I'll head that way myself. Just need a few more sips of sweaty gym sock. I gotta talk to Stark about getting some new flavors.
Hunter, may I ask for your assistance? I appreciate your honesty. Hunter, do you know what claustrophobia is?
Does that have to do with the magical man who gives children gifts?
No, that's Santa Claus. I'm talking about a phobia. It's a fear attached to a specific thing. Are you scared of anything?
I fear death.
A natural fear, and a fate we all share. I'm sure you are not eager to re-enter your long slumber.
You are correct. I would not like to go through death again for a long time.
You've still got many years to go. But being scared is different than having a phobia.
Then what is this phobia of yours?
It's a fear of small, enclosed spaces. Phobias come from trauma, and if we're put in the position where our phobia is present, it's hard to function.
That sounds awful.
It was. Thankfully, I've been able to overcome it. It took many years of work and failure, but I did it.
I cannot imagine the fortitude it took to overcome such a hardship.
I was put in the position where it was my fear or the safety of my team. Sometimes being under extreme pressure works.
Even still, it is a feat you should be proud of.
I appreciate the sentiment. I just thought you should be aware of my past phobia.
Thank you for telling me.
Just know that it won't impact the team. Find me again for next time. This is how I spend my free time. Thank you for making the time. I enjoyed spending time with you, Hunter.
Oh, I'm focused, Blade.
Point to Transia on the map.
A map is not the terrain, Blade.
You can't find it, can you?
It's somewhere in the, Russia region? Europe. Near, Germany.
You're our driver, Robbie.
That reminds me, what side of the road do transients drive on?
Just have the hell ride full of diesel and ready.
The Hellride doesn't take diesel. It's fueled by the screaming soul energy of the unavenged, the wronged, and the betrayed. And trust me, the Hellride's topped off.
Okay, that was pretty badass.
Is there anything you can tell us?
Hunter, hello.
Back to Eastern.
You ever notice how pop culture never gets witches right?
I do not know if you noticed, but I am not exactly an expert on pop culture, Wanda.
I know I have. There are old, outdated tropes of witches flying around on broomsticks, turning children into mice with potion-laced chocolate, using glamours to change the color of our hair. Real witches don't just wiggle their nose and get the dishes to do themselves. Real magic comes with a price, and real witches end up paying it. It's not all magic wands and midnight margaritas.
Have you ever considered teaching these filmmakers a lesson?
What, like casting a spell on them?
Well, I was thinking more of a hex.
I'm pretty sure that's a waste of my energy.
Are there any depictions of witches you do like?
Just the ones that have cats as familiars. Reminds me of Agatha and Ebony. Transia is a country in trauma. Their borders could easily destabilize at any moment. The people there, they have seen so much war, trauma, and pain. We must spare them at all costs.
Oh, you are gonna love this. So, how's the whole saving the world thing going? Where did you find this? This is some of my best work.
Good day, Hunter.
This should be useful. This will do nicely. Always better to be prepared. All set. This should be useful. This will do nicely. Always better to be prepared.
Right. I'm packing coffee pods. Anything you like?
Yes, the coffee shop cinnamon blend. Good call, Ileana. Transia is known for lots of trauma, war, and terrible coffee.
We cannot expect to save the day with decaf. That would be counterproductive.
This will be a very strange homecoming.
We are not our homes. We are our family. And our little spooky family here can get through anything.
Later.
Ain't gonna go easy, bub. Nice match, kid.
Think Dr. Strange knows Merlin? I'm still waiting for someone to take this sword.
I missed you, Ileana.
So, I read in your war journals, issue 47 to be specific, that you've been to Transia.
Is that a question?
More like a prompt. You know, to see if the journals were true, or if there was something you left out intentionally.
Ah, for intel.
Yes, definitely for intel. If so, War Journal number 47 is my favorite. So when you were surrounded by Hydra troops in that transient cemetery, did all that stuff really happen? Where you bounced the shield off the tombstones and took out like 10 elite troops?
No.
Whatever that device is, Hydra would rather destroy it than allow us to capture it for analysis. Don't waste any time. Take them out before they can do any serious damage. Those soldiers are targeting the device. Do whatever it takes to stop them.
Kiss it goodbye. I wasn't even trying that hard.
I am impressed.
Now it's my turn.
They cannot possibly match your strength. Your time has come. Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently, she's promiscuous. No mercy for the servants of Hail that!
excited? Mama said knock you out.
Start to grind my gears. Still want a piece? About as good as can be expected. Should do the trick.
It's about time.
Now that was something.
Bad luck for you, friendo.
I saw a move like that once, centuries ago. By my side.
Who needs practice? About time.
Probably feel bad about that.
Got some more flunkies coming in.
They're still set on me. Get a checklist or anything, but so far, so good.
You've got incoming Hydra. You know what to do.
Not looking good for you.
Himself for the resident.
Looking at me?
I choose.
Nice move, bub.
There is no escape.
Sorry, babe. Maybe I should try hibernating for a couple hundred years. At that. With extreme prejudice.
Probably could have pulled this off without me.
They cannot possibly match your strength.
Oh! I saw this in a movie once!
That was something.
Looks like we've acquired some new hardware courtesy of Hydra. Good work.
Time for book club. You coming?
Meet you there.
After you.
My plan backfired. Thought choosing a weird book would drive people away.
Why would you do that?
More punch for the rest of us.
Why have I not heard of Crash Morgan? I know it's an older book, but this is exactly the kind of story I like.
I thought Logan might bail. But I told him we'd bring more snacks this time. I have him figured out. I'm good if you are.
I am ready.
All right, Logan, I need to know. Why did you choose this book?
I'll tell you, just not yet. I want to hear what you thought of this book.
It was written in the 1940s, so I expected some repugnant attitudes and phrases. But it surprised me. The writing was simple, yet the story was deeper than it had any right to be.
What was your favorite part?
It's in the chapter where Crash and the princess escape the Zorgots. The next morning, they see the sun rise and Mars rising beside it. When the princess asks what the future holds and Crash just stares at Mars as it eclipses the sun, it gave me chills.
I did not pay much attention to that part.
How can you not appreciate the doomed romance between Crash Morgan and Princess Anilla?
Easy. You root for the Zorgot commander.
Should have known you'd be a Glaxogorp fan. Anyway, I think the moment gets lost when the Zorgots deploy their Null Stalkers.
I don't get why the robot dog didn't warn them. I thought it could talk.
Not until number 19, the minefields of the reticulates. It's a whole thing.
Got it. So, what's the idea with Crash's promise?
What about it?
When Crash apprehends Glaxogorp, they have a tense conversation in the back of the flypod. Crash says there's a way the Zorgots can leave the moon with everything they want, but the princess must take the throne. Then Crash vows that no queen of royal blood shall ever rule Deimos. Glaxogorp agrees, but why? Crash breaks the vow in the next chapter.
Deimos society sounds awful. The Zorgots were right to invade.
You aren't wrong about Deimos society, but the Zorgots went overboard. Glaxogorp was the only one Crash could reason with. And how does that tie into the Hydro gunfight at the top of the space scraper?
Really? You don't see it?
I do.
They're shapeshifters.
Who?
Crash and Glaxogorp.
No.
Yep.
But then, when do they...
The Hydro gunfight. Crash gets hit in the helmet and goes down. And what happens whenever Crash is unconscious?
The helmet changes color. Turns bronze like the suit.
Right. Then Glaxogorp pulls up on the rocket sled and takes Crash and the princess into custody. That's when they make the switch. Crash and Glaxogorp change form. But where do they stash the princess?
Does Romut not have a secret compartment?
That can barely hold Crash's hydro gun. It's not big enough to secure the princess. Their plan required her to be in Crash's suit. The opaque helmet keeps her safe. So we get to the Deimos Council meeting. The princess refuses the throne and declares her love for Crash, who is the princess in Crash's suit. When they embrace, the false princess deactivates the Magna Manacles binding Crash. But Crash nabs the Star Scepter from the fake princess, activates the suit's zoom vest, and smashes through the monoculus.
So, if that's the actual princess, she escapes. But who is the false princess?
That's a shape-shifted Glaxogorp. Without the Star Scepter, Deimos can't crown their queen.
Right. She never wanted it, and the Zorgots definitely don't want it. Glaxogorp, posing as the princess, can steer Deimos away from war.
And when the fake Glaxogorp vows the Star Scepter shall be restored to the princess, that's actually Crash.
So Crash made 2 vows and broke neither of them. The cliffhanger with Glaxogorp chasing Crash's ship is actually Crash returning to the princess so they can escape Deimos.
You got it. They reveal the switcheroo at the beginning of number 6, Attack of the Intergalactic Space Weasels.
Clever. I like it more now. And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
So, Logan, why did you pick this book?
Because it's fun.
I almost wish this book was a comic instead. I would have liked to see the Monoculus.
I wonder if Tony could build me a robot dog.
My book was the best of them.
You have only been to 2 meetings.
Yeah, but you know I'm right.
You have not set anything on fire today, have you? You did not mention a book for next time.
Yeah, with everything going on, I'm gonna put book club on a hiatus until things are less apocalyptic.
I hope we come back to this in the future.
Same here. Books are a gourmet meal for thought. Not to call anyone out, but you just can't feed your mind gristle.
It would be a shame if Nico heard you say that.
Nice try. She knows what I think of her taste in movies. Besides, I said it to her face last week.
What did she say?
Don't make me magic all your books into screenplays. Unpublished screenplays. In the face of a threat like that, I'm not too proud to admit I backed down. Actually, I need to thank you for sticking around since the beginning. For all your help with Carol.
Of course.
I don't get close to many people. I never get into relationships. That's not a rule I ever break. But I did with Carol. Beyond all the reasons, I find her amazing. Do you know why?
You are into her because she can kick your ass.
That's exactly it.
Really? I was joking.
I'm not. Vampires fight dirty. They'll kill whoever you love just because they can. If they really want you to suffer, they'll turn your true love into one of them. That's why dating me is a death sentence, and I refuse to put that weight on anyone. But can you imagine some pissant vampire trying to chow down on Captain Marvel? First, his fangs would snap off on contact with her skin. Then she'd just chuck it into space. No hiding from the sun out there. There's no way they can ever touch her. But it's not just that.
It is you. She is safe from you.
Yeah. I never break my rule because I know deep down there's a chance I could lose control. But with Carol, hell, she could hold me over her head till I was myself again. Wouldn't even break a sweat.
Well, completely unrelated, I want to watch Captain Marvel bench press Blade.
I would not.
You were no fun.
And you already knew that. Well, I'm glad you joined me for all of this. Maybe next time the world is ending, I'll start a sparring club.
A sparring club? Is that just training with a fancy name?
You saw right through me. On your way out?
Yeah, I am done.
Later then.
Hi, kiddo.
It's hard to keep secrets from my symbiote. It never sleeps.
Look at us! Two undead heroes doing hero stuff!
I'm feeling wiped out today. Could use a shot of Tony Stark Drive energy drink.
Did you have a rough night's sleep?
Yeah, I could feel the symbiote rolling around all night and it kept me up. What about you?
In my dream, I encountered a grumpy Sasquatch in the forest who offered stock market advice.
Oh, yeah, I've had that one.
Maybe I was sleepwalking. You encounter a lot of odd creatures around the Abbey.
It's hard to get a good night's sleep with everything that's happening. But I've had worse nights. The symbiote doesn't sleep, so part of me is always active.
What does the symbiote do while you sleep?
It watches hours and hours of cable news.
That sounds educational.
No, these programs are about human politics. Nothing educational about them. Do you have another? I don't want to lose this. Oh, this is the only burn I love to feel. It's good to take a break from knocking heads.
Switching games, be back in a few B. Thanks for the watchies. Happy trails. Text green game over.